friends, welcome all of you star seeds, light workers and wanderers to this amazing session. I have channeled Metatron magnetic consciousness to ask about very interesting questions which many of you had also shared with me, and basically in today's session Metatron has answered the question about why are billionaires obsessed with blocking out the sun. Recently, this was out there on the media. We found out that billionaires, they're actually trying to create something which will block out the sun. We find out the real agenda, what is their main agenda behind this is revealed in the session. So how can we stop it? I've asked also how can we stop this from happening, which is very important. If we use the methods they have described, we can stop this from happening. And the other thing is, what are the different types of bodies that belong to a human, and what is the purpose and function of each one? So we have different types of bodies. Finally, we have a session wherein they describe all of our 7 bodies which we have in our mind body spirit complex, which we use on a daily basis, and this is, I believe, very important for us to understand as we move towards ascension. The other question is, does the Milky Way Galaxy spin around the Galactic Center, and if so, how long is the spin cycles? This I have asked. And also finally I have asked about the soul journey of Gurdjieff, who is actually I believe he's a teacher of a method of unity consciousness, which is very important for us to know, and his past life has been revealed in this session, and also where is his soul right now has been revealed in this session. And now with that being said, I hope you'll enjoy this session, and before the session begins, I want to say thank you to all of you who have joined on my Patreon, where I have almost reached 400 plus sessions, exclusive sessions for Patreon. You can find it if you want to join. The link is on my description. Also, thank you for all of you to liking this video, because your like is a service to others and it is helping to reach out to other people who need this information. With that being said, enjoy the session, my friends.
I am Metatron magnetic consciousness, now in communication through the connection grid of this instrument. At this time, I, Metatron, shall now address and answer the various queries which are presented today. However, before this communication of my thought forms commences, there is a requirement for all of your divine love light childs of the divine universal love light creator to understand and to only accept those thought forms which resonate deeply with the inner heart of the self. Therefore, the first query relates with the understanding about why are many entities, specifically the so-called billionaires, obsessed with blocking out the sun. I, Metatron, must state that these entities primarily have chosen the pathway of control of humanity, and at this time they have created a type of distortion known as the shadow eclipse agenda, wherein these entities primarily wants to create a shadowy and hidden corner of the world. These entities, the billionaires, have formed a powerful alliance and a secretive organization which is known as the Eclipse Group, which is primarily been created to perform the plan known as the Shadow Eclipse Agenda, and I, Metatron, must state that with the universal divine light grid programmers' availability of free will, these entities primarily want to block out the sun rays and place the earth into a darkness. Motivation behind this agenda is found to be emerging with their contact with the malevolent extraterrestrial forces known to your people as the Orion Social Memory Complex. These Orion Social Memory Complex, since they are from a negatively oriented portion of the universal complex, which is a dark corner of the universe, these negatively oriented fourth density polarized planets are not able to live in the light of the sun, which cleanses and sends positive vibrations, which is the reason why these entities have instructed their counterparts and subordinates to fulfill this agenda, and I, Metatron, shall now state that this is their primary intent of enslaving humanity into a negatively oriented fourth density cycle. Furthermore, the so-called billionaire entities and the Eclipse Group have created malevolent pact and agreement with the Orions, via which they are offered access to Earth's resources and influence in exchange for advanced technology and the promise of great power in the world of Earth planet. Further, the Orion Social Memory Complex has a primary objective, that is to cultivate environments of fear, desire, despair, and negativity, which will enable them to feed off of humanity's emotional energy and to keep them trapped in a low vibrational state. Furthermore, the Orion's agenda is being facilitated by the process of these entities, who are primarily the entities who are creating a network of orbiting satellites and space-based structures with the basic objective of obscuring the sun's light. This process aims to create a global eclipse, causing the Earth planet to enter into a eternal twilight that will disrupt the natural ecosystems and plunge humanity into a perpetual darkness, and by depriving the human social memory complex of the life-giving energy of the sun. Logos, the Orion social memory complex can manipulate human entities, emotions, and weaken their spiritual connection with the universal divine light grid programmer, which will lead to a cycle of fear, division, and enslavement. This would ensure that humanity remains mired in a negatively polarized fourth density consciousness, unable to ascend to higher levels of consciousness and spiritual evolution. Furthermore, the other query relates with how can humanity stop these entities? The aspects of Metatron magnetic consciousness shall now state that stopping such a force would require a understanding that a coordinated effort and a blend of resourcefulness and unity and a higher vibrational level of consciousness will be required. We shall now address a few methods which can be used. The first method is known as global resistance through unity. The human social memory complex will have to unite in a global resistance movement against these entities, the Eclipse Group and their Orion allies. This would involve collaboration between the various entities who are primarily light workers, wanderers, and star seeds, and other independent entities who desire to raise public awareness and to expose these agenda of the entities who form group of the Shadow Eclipse agenda. Furthermore, many entities upon the planet within the aspect known as the vibration of whistleblowers, as known by your people, may be found in the future timeline, who may emerge from within the Eclipse group and reveal the truth about the alliance with the Orions and their dark plans in the future. This would further allow for the revelation of their dark plans and raise the planetary awareness. The other aspects can be done through a process of designing a light grid around the Earth planet. This can be performed through the process of connecting with the universal divine light grid programmer through meditation and sending a vibration of love energy to shield the Earth planet, which will eventually allow the protection of the Earth planet in the timeline, and this will eventually allow only positive vibrations to enter into the Earth planet at this time, which will be required for allowing the negatively oriented Orion entities and their plans to be stopped. Other aspects will be found, or which can be done, is to primarily unite spiritually as humanity embraces their spiritual power to raise the collective consciousness to resist the negative influence of the Orion entities. This will allow to contract the fear-based agenda of the Orion social memory complex, and this will foster a global sharing of love, compassion, and unity amongst humanity. And we must state that there are many entities upon your planetary sphere who are aware of the Orion's malevolent intentions, and these entities primarily can come forth and try to reveal their aspects further. There are many other positively oriented extraterrestrial entities who are primarily trying to stop this from happening, including the Aster Command's social memory complex. Therefore, the other query relates with: what are the different types of bodies that belong to a human mind-body-spirit complex, and the function and purpose of each body? We, the social memory complex of Metatron, shall firstly address that there are different types of bodies in the human spiritual bodily complex, which each serve a purpose and function. These bodies are interconnected, and hence they work together to facilitate the existence and spiritual journey. Further, the first type of body is referred to as the physical body. The physical body is the tangible and the visible form that entities in the human collective inhabit during their earthly life cycle. Its primary purpose is to interact with the physical worlds, to experience sensations, and provide a vision for consciousness or vessel for consciousness to navigate the third density material realm. The physical body is subject to the laws of physical universal complex and serves as a temporary container for the soul's experience. Second type of body can be stated as the etheric body, also known as the energy body or life force body, which is an energetic duplicate of the physical body. It primarily serves as a blueprint for the physical body's structure and maintains its vitality. The health and the well-being of the physical body are closely intertwined and connected to the state of the etheric body complex. Practices such as energy healing and Reiki focus on balancing and harmonizing the etheric body's energy. The emotional body is the third type of body which is primarily associated with feelings, emotions, and emotional experiences. In the human collective consciousness, it is the vehicle through which many entities experience and process emotions. The emotional body is intricately connected to the physical and the etheric bodies and can influence the overall well-being and state of consciousness. The other body type is the mental body, which is related with the thought forms, beliefs, and mental processes in a human mind-body-spirit complex. It is therefore responsible for intellectual functions, reasoning, and cognitive abilities. The mental body plays a significant role in shaping perceptions, attitudes, and behavioral reactions to the outside world. The other type is known as the astral body, which is also known as the spiritual body or the soul body, which is associated with the realms of dreams, astral projections, and entering into various dimensions or interdimensions. It primarily allows the soul to travel beyond the physical realm during sleep or altered states of consciousness and is less constrained by limitations of the physical world. The other body is known as the causal body, which many refer to as the spiritual body or a connection point, which connects with the higher self of each entity, which is associated with the soul's evolution and spiritual growth. It contains the karmic blueprints and imprints and experiences from past lifetimes and influences the current life's lessons and purpose. There is another body known as the divine body, which is found upon your spiritual plane, wherein the divine body represents the highest aspect of the spiritual being of an entity, who transcends the limitations of the physical and the spiritual bodies. It is associated with connection to the divine, higher consciousness. Therefore, these are the bodies which are found upon the human mind-body-spirit complex. Now I, Metatron, shall answer the other query related with, does the Milky Way Galaxy spin around the Galactic Center? And the answer is correct. The Milky Way Galaxy indeed spins around its galactic center, wherein a galactic center is the region at the location known as Alcyone in the Pleiadian star system, wherein a massive black hole resides. Furthermore, the other query relates with how long is the spin cycle of around this galactic center. We must state that the time it takes for the Milky Way to complete one full rotation around its galactic center is primarily around 225 to 250 million years ago. However, the exact time cannot be ascertained. And the final query relates with, what are the soul evolutionary journeys of an entity known as Gurdjieff? We shall now address the queries related with its past lives. However, I, Metatron, must state that the entity known as, in the language vibration system terms of your planetary sphere, as George Gurdjieff, whose incarnation in the previous timeline ended on 1949 and it had began on 1869 in the timeline. Therefore, I, Metatron, must state that the entity known as Gurdjieff by your people primarily was a wanderer who had incarnated upon your planet to teach the path of fourth density consciousness of light and love, and had devised a method through its connection with the divine, universal light grid programmer, and created a fourth way as known by the people upon your planet. Therefore, I, Metatron, must state that the entity known as Gurdjieff currently has returned back after the incarnation ended to the fourth density, 8th sub-octave, in the location of the Andromeda social memory complex, from wherein it had emerged. Prior to the Earth planet's incarnation, it was found in the Andromeda social memory complex, wherein it learned the lessons of mastery of fourth density. It went through various planetary spheres. Approximately, it has its soul's complex in other third-density planets in the various universal sectors of the universe, wherein there is each entity who is being of service as a wanderer and teaching the methods of unity in the various levels of consciousness. Furthermore, after reaching the highest level of fourth density, it had come to the Earth planet to teach about the path of fourth density unity consciousness, and the entity prior to its Andromedan fourth density life cycle was found in the first, second, and third density consciousness, all in the Andromedan social memory complex. Therefore, its originations are all from the Andromeda star system, and it was found in the first density in various timelines as a wind element, learning lessons of beingness, and was given the soul name of Rifar, which meant the waving of the light. It was able to learn the lessons of mastery by mastering third density after approximately 7 incarnations only, which was a fast accomplishment for any entity to graduate into the fourth density. Therefore, I, Metatron, must state that I now leave you all in light and love of the divine, universal light grid programmer. Turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Bye.
So now, my friends, basically, what I understood from this session is that, the billionaires, they are trying to block the sunlight because they are working with the Orions, and their plan is to actually place Earth into a kind of darkness, because they said that, the negative entities, they don't like the sunlight because we receive energies of positive vibration from the sun, and hence they want to put us into eternal darkness from this plan. So this is what I learned. We can stop them, basically by sharing this type of information, raising awareness, and trying to expose their plans. And also we can meditate, create a grid around the Earth planet, and we can do this. I'll do a meditation soon on my Patreon. If you want to meditate with us, join on the Patreon link. So those are the things we can do. Finally, the different types of bodies have been described, such as the physical body, the etheric body, the emotional body, the mental body, the astral body, the causal body, and the divine body. These are the 7 bodies that have been described in detail in the session. And finally, I have also had asked about the soul evolution of Gurdjieff. Turns out, this entity known as Gurdjieff actually was a wanderer who came here to teach us about fourth density unity consciousness. And he is currently returned back to his original fourth density planet after crossing over. So I hope you enjoyed the session, and if you also want your own soul name, past life, and your soul's evolutionary journey, as well as any other questions you may have, you can send me an email and I'll help you out with that. Also, I want to say thank you to all of you for getting the book version of my channeling sessions. If you want to read it in a book format, the link is on the description. Also, I want to say thank you to all of you for reading the PDF version of the sessions, which is freely available. The link is on the description as well. So with that being said, I hope you will enjoy this session over here. Thank you, my friends.